Hey, good morning, everyone. This is your tropical update here for Wednesday, October 9th. The time right now of this recording is just after 7 a.m. So I want to give you a perspective of the information that I'm giving you, just so that in case you are watching this a little bit later, you get an idea of how things may have changed since this was recorded. But here are the headlines as a major hurricane is approaching West Central Florida, the West Coast in particular, the Gulf Coast, where we expect a landfall later on tonight. We are looking at a catastrophic storm surge with Milton as it makes landfall late tonight and maybe even very early tomorrow morning. We have a large damaging wind field. The extent at which those winds are going from the center has been growing since really over 24 hours now. So as the storm gets bigger, the area of Florida in the southeast that this storm will be impacting will also be getting bigger. So more of us will be impacted as the storm moves its way across the central part of the state. We're looking at flooding rains too, so it's not just storm surge and wind. The storm is capable of producing up to a foot or more of rain as it moves its way across the state. So here's the latest. This is scary stuff. A major hurricane, a Category 5 hurricane, as of the 5 a.m. advisory early this morning, that still had 160 mile per hour sustained winds. Those are not wind gusts, my friends. That is a sustained wind, a constant wind at 160 miles per hour. The winds are gusting even higher than that near the center of the hurricane. Now, what we have noticed with the hurricane since last night, some of the images last night were just so remarkable. As scary as it is, there's some beauty in how well organized this storm was. It had a well-defined eye. It was a concentric circle. Notice this morning how the eye, especially here toward the end of the loop, is starting to sort of close in on itself. So there are some atmospheric conditions here that are not favorable for further development. In other words, we expect a weakening of this storm as it approaches the West Coast. Looks like landfall is going to be just south of Tampa Bay. That's better news for Tampa. Still expecting a storm surge, but it may not be quite as bad as it will be just to the right of the center, south of well, I guess it'd be north of Fort Myers, the way it looks right now. So here's the track of Milton, a landfall likely south of Tampa, but north of Fort Myers Beach. That's going to put Fort Myers and maybe Sarasota, we're talking about Port Charlotte, all of those areas at high risk of a catastrophic storm surge. You see this circle right here? That is the wind field. We'll get to that in a moment. Again, that has been growing with time. And as that wind field is growing, its ability to push water is increasing as well. So in the purple here, we have up to a 15-foot storm surge. That is insane. That is the water going up 15 feet higher than it typically is. That's going to reach above many first floors here for any structure that's here right along the coast. And then we, of course, as you move away, have a decreasing storm surge, but still, I mean, you go pretty far away from the center, you still have a 4-5 foot storm surge. That too is pretty remarkable. So this is the wind field there in the orange, and it's already approaching Florida. I'll show you the radar here in a second, but with a growing wind field, that means as this crosses the state, look how much of Florida is going to be impacted by tropical storm winds. That's what's there in the orange. In the red, those are the hurricane force winds. So when you think about it, those strongest winds, those winds that are 140, 150 miles per hour, that is a relatively small area. You're going to have to be really close to the center of the hurricane to experience the strongest winds. It's not like the entire state's going to be engulfed with 140 mile per hour winds, which, by the way, that's what we're expecting at landfall. Let me step off the screen here for a second because I'm going to switch the source here to the radar. This is the latest radar. This is radar scope. And as you're looking at this, notice that we are expecting, or you can already see the center of the storm. And I think you can kind of see my mouse there over the screen. Maybe not. There we go. We still have the center there just off screen there and already having some tornado warnings. So we got a storm that's already On the, that is not what I meant to show you, but we already have a storm that's showing up on the radar, and it's pretty impressive, my friends. We're looking at that storm continuing to march its way toward the coast. All right, so that is your tropical outlook. I can't stress this enough. It is a catastrophic, damaging hurricane. We got those key points that are on this same page, so check those out. That really outlines what you can expect for this storm. If I get an opportunity, I'll try to do another update, but we're expecting that landfall of Hurricane Milton as a major hurricane, Category 4 hurricane. Looks like 140-mile-per-hour winds making landfall south of Tampa late tonight. That's your tropical outlook. Stay safe, my friends.